But my goal was not necessarily to make a shit pile of money. The goal was to understand the space, right? To understand what's on the minds of the developers,
Yep.
what are they targeting, what's their development cycle, how much resources you have to throw at it to create a new model that does a purpose-built thing. And my goal was to try to integrate it into a VFX workflow,
Yep.
right? And it's not just hypothetical, it's we have to. We if we want to continue to see the kinds of movies that I've always loved and that I like to make and that I will go to see, call it Dune 2, something like that, or one of my films, or big FX heavy, CG heavy films, we got to figure out how to cut the cost of that in half.
Totally.
Now, that's not about laying off half the staff at a VFX company. That's about doubling their speed to completion on a given shot.
Right, cutting time in half.
Exactly. So your cadence is faster and your throughput cycle is faster, and artists get to move on and do other cool things and then other cool things, right? That's my sort of vision for that. And the only thing that's come along, I mean, I've been in the CG game for 38 years, right? I've been there at every step up along the way. And, we're in a very, very slow, almost plateaued evolutionary state right now. It's not revolutionary. And then this revolutionary technology comes on, and it's coming at it from a completely different way of generating an image, completely different. And they're really pretty incompatible as it sits right now. The trick is, how do you increase that intersection set of those two Venn diagrams?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And that's what I'm looking at really hard right now.
Yeah, the previous technologies, film was the point of it. And they went on to have much richer features outside of
Exactly. It spread beyond that.
Game engines and Photoshop and a bunch of these things came out of, but film was the initial target.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas that's not the case with Gen AI. The Gen AI film is a target, but it's one of many.
I don't think it's even a big target. I mean, you look at OpenAI, their goal is not to make Gen AI movies. I mean, we're a little wart on their butt, I mean, in terms of the scale, you're talking about they want to make consumer fun products for 8 billion people,
Totally.
And I'm sure Meta's very much the same.
Anybody
that's striving to get market share in that space. And, movies are just a little tiny application, tiny use case, and it's too tiny, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. So it's going to be smaller, sort of boutique type Gen AI developer groups that I can get the attention of and say, hey, I got a problem here. It's called rotoscope, or it's called, it's called this, or it's called that. How do I outpaint, upscale, whatever needs to be done in a workflow that already exists that's CG based?
Yeah.
And there are answers.